Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for the descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick Dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master ice. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. And this, of course, is the weekly wrap-up. And hopefully everybody is doing well this week and has had a good week in this land we call Babylon. You know, a lot going on out here in these political streets. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And that's what we do here. Empowerment, and empowerment by way of information. So with that being said, shout out to everybody as you are coming in. Please like and share. You can also subscribe to this channel if you have not. And after you do that, hit the notification bell. Hit the word all, that way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. So with that being said, let's see who we have in the chat thus far. And if you are watching the replay, leave a like or, leave a comment and let us know what you thought. If you did not catch the live, let us know what you thought about what we talk about tonight. Let's see what we got in the chat. Vintage clothing apparel in the house. Welcome. We have Doom Mega in the house. What is going on, brother? And of course, we have our good sister, Judah Queen, in the building. Welcome. And we have our sister, Blueberry Muffin, in the house. Welcome, my sister. Lawrence Lilly in the house. What's going on, brother? Yes, indeed. It is Friday. We have Reginald Jeter in the house. What's going on? Welcome. Got our sister Key Prince in the house. Happy Friday, family, in the chat. Yes, indeed. We got Tanya Zion in the house. Shalom, family, and Beatzilla PDX official. Thank you so much. And we have David Boyd in the house. David Boyd, happy Friday and Black First. Salutes to Beatzilla PDX official and Judah Queen and the Black First chat. The family and, going on in the house. We got Tasha Peters in the house. Hello. We got our good sister, Rhonda Smith, in the house. Welcome, sister. And all right. So that is who we have in the chat thus far. Let me turn this down. Real quick, this monitor is a little bright. It's way too bright. Bear with me 1 second. As I turn this brightness down in my face. All right. Okay, there we go. So, like I was saying, this broadcast is definitely going to be more covering more political-based issues, and it's going to be a real simple one. So, again, this will not be too long, but just some interesting things to touch on. However, let me get that story back up real quick. Where did I put that? Before we hit the politics. Come on now. Okay, is this it? Boy, oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. All right. So it looks like in Colorado, we have a situation with our brother John Amos. For those who haven't heard already, it seems the Colorado Sheriff's Office is investigating claims of elder abuse involving actor John Amos. And this is out of Custer County, Colorado. It says, Colorado authorities are investigating claims of elder abuse involving actor John Amos. On Friday, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation sent out a news release on behalf of the Custer County Sheriff's Office. A GoFundMe account was created allegedly by the daughter of Amos, asking for help with legal fees tied to the claims. The fundraising account claims his daughter was out of the county when she learned Amos was in the ICU. During the following weeks, my family and I unraveled a horrifying truth. My dad had fallen victim to elder abuse and financial exploitation. Part of the GoFundMe page reads, determined to seek justice. We are working closely with the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and the local sheriff's department in my father's home state. The CBI shared the news release about 1 p.m. on Friday. The men and women of Custer County and Colorado Sheriff's Office want to extend our thoughts and prayers for a speedy recovery for Mr. John Amos, the news release reads. His publicist has released information that he is currently a patient at a hospital in Tennessee. Mr. Amos has been a loved member of our community for many years. He also has been an ardent supporter of our community and this sheriff's office. The press release confirms a report was made to the Custer County Sheriff's Office that Amos could be a victim of a crime, was bolded. Let's see. As with any potential criminal investigation, we are unable to provide any additional comment on the case or investigation. The release adds, we have received questions from media outlets across the country, and this will serve as our statement until we are in a position to release additional information. And so that's what's going on with that. So like they said, speedy recovery to this brother. Sounds like, things are being legitimately claimed about the elder abuse. So it appears as if he was financially being taken advantage of, as well as getting. I was under the impression he was in the ICU for some reason or another. I believe injured. So there's that. So there seems to be clearly evidence pointing to the simple fact that maybe something is not completely okay in around our brother's circumstances involving, and it's looking like I'm not sure who they're blaming. My understanding is that they were blaming one of the children, but I don't know. I don't hear that off. And they're not telling anything, so that's just speculation, I guess, right now. But we'll see how this story shakes out. But definitely is not good. Let's see. Now there is some other things. Real quick. Let me find this. Okay. So I know where I'm going. So I'm not sure. Again, like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about politics and something about moving into this election season and election cycle. Sometimes things come out, and sometimes things come out that you might not have wanted to go on like that. Okay, they do actually got a little video on it. So let me share this. because we have a little situation in our local politics with this woman called named Shamia Fagan. And Shamia Fagan was she's actually tied to I believe the Treasury, the state Treasury. She's a law. She just recently took a new position, but I guess as when she was kind of overseeing the Treasury, she was taking money from a dispensary, and not just like a dispensary. It was a business that owns multiple dispensaries. And so some people might have felt that that was a conflict of interest. Needless to say, when the truth of the matter came out, she resigned. And everybody's saying there ain't no harm, no foul. She has done no wrong. What do we know? Nothing to see here. Well, there's some more information now that is finally dropping on this story. And yeah, I don't know what to say, but other than, this ain't looking good. So let me
subpoenas for documents linked to her.
Staying on top of the ethical and legal questions surrounding former Secretary of State Shamia Fagan.
Oregon government agencies are facing federal subpoenas for documents linked to her and the owners of the cannabis chain LaModa. Now, expense records just released by the Secretary of State's office, raising even more questions. Elise Haas looking into those. Elise?
There's a lot to dig into here, including hotel and car rental expenses related to various trips in 2022, including to the southern Oregon coast. In September of 2022, a revenue accountant emailed Fagan's executive assistant about how to separate personal use from state business. And the email says state employees cannot benefit from state contracts. So in this case, this vehicle was rented for state business and then kept for personal use, which is an ethical violation in a couple of different ways. Fagan later resigned on May 2nd of this year over ethical concerns connected to her work as a consultant for the cannabis chain LaModa. In a letter to Governor Kotek, Fagan stated she did nothing wrong ethically or legally, saying, "While I am confident that the ethics investigation will show that I followed the state's legal and ethical guidelines and family, it is clear that my actions have become a distraction from the important and critical work of the Secretary of State's office." So that ethics investigation is ongoing, with a report due before the commission by July. Beginning to look through Fagan's office, we reached out to the acting Secretary of State's office. They said in part, Secretary Fagan's frequent travel with family members was not appropriate for an elected official. Staff at the agency frequently pushed back on the plans for these trips, but their advice was ignored.
Interesting that the staff pushed back on it. If she had concerns then, she obviously didn't listen to the staff at that point.
Right. It's like she has these ideas about rules that she can bend. And when you go through these emails, there's pet fees, she's bringing her children along on trips, getting a car for a business trip, and then keeping it for a couple extra days for her personal use. These are the kinds of questions, that we need answers to for why that was allowed to happen and why she's putting that on the state's dime.
Okay. You've been on this since the very beginning. I know you continue to follow it. Elise Haas, thank you.
Wow. Well, and so that's what's going on in the local scene here. And again, these Democrats, by the way, good old liberals. Not saying, I have conservative values. I am not a right-wing conservative. So, hey, man, you sounded like you. No, sir. Let's get it right and get it tight. Tight and right. Now, moving on. Let's see. Where are we going here? All right. So this next story. Sometimes things just have a way of looking familiar. And when I first seen this, I'm like, this gives me AOC energy. And you all gonna see this here in a second. But first, I see we got some folks that done came in the chat. Lovely lady 31 or 37. Yeah, that's lovely lady 37177. Tore that name all the way up. Welcome. Rahami Bey, what is going on? Welcome. Got our brother, dark skinned brother in the house. What's going on? Did I miss Kid Gravity? I didn't see Kid Gravity. Where Kid Gravity at? Yeah, I don't see Kid Gravity. Yeah, I sure don't see Kid Gravity in the chat. Yeah. Maybe I missed him. Because you know how they be doing. Nah. Okay. Dead serious. What's going on? Welcome. All right. So let me get this other thing off. Wow. Powering off. Why is it so loud when it powers off? It makes no sense. Yeah. Blueberry muffins again. Gravity, where you at? Let's see. He might be over there in Brother Afro Elite's live stream. They over there. They have they're doing fundraising for Brother Ozone, Othel Wallace, the brother that they are trying to railroad down there in Florida. So shout out to our brother Afro Elite and Sister ZZ. And let me get this up on the screen for you so you can check this out. Like I said, this particular individual, as the story goes, is literally trying to, I guess, start getting her AOC almost I'm black too on. So she starts talking about white women and racism and how white women need to basically be struck down out of their positions to combat white supremacy. Now, I'm not sure what she actually identifies when she looks in the mirror, but okay. Nonetheless, let's hear what she has to say.
This issue has unfortunately does put some, and not all, of course, but some Muslim families on the same side of an issue as white supremacists and outright bigots. And, however, the folks who I've talked to here today, I would not put in the same category as those folks, although, it's again complicated because they're falling on the same side of this particular issue.
Hi, my name is Saad Beg. I'm a middle school student of MCPS. I'm here to talk about the opt-out option for reading material. I'm not here to take away the right of anyone being recognized in the community. I'm here to talk about my rights. My religion teaches to respect all religions and all human beings and their rights. So does my country law. And I want my right back to have an opt-out option. In the last Board of Education meeting, someone said that many people of the LGBTQ community are being bullied. That may have been the case some time ago, but these days it's quite the opposite. There are over 40 kids that I know who don't want to learn this and really want to be here talking today, but can't because they are being bullied. They are the ones being bullied when they say we don't want to learn this.
Although the introduction of texts and discussions related to transgenderism and LGBTQ+ lifestyle may support MCPS's mission to be all-inclusive regardless of race, gender, and identity, I don't believe my first grade and third grade cousins are prepared to read and discuss about such issues at MCPS.
The issue of gender and sexuality are influenced by our faith, and we should not be caricatured as intolerant. And our faith perceived to be subversive because it doesn't align with your beliefs. Intolerance of the faith community threatens to erode support for religious freedom, therefore eroding the benefits it provides for everyone, religious and non-religious. Pluralistic societies that value human dignity and do not view faith communities as a problem to be eliminated will only thrive and prosper. I respectfully request the restoration of the opt-out option at MCPS. Thank you. Takbir.
So if you're not understanding what you're seeing, you are seeing a crafty spin against CRT. And they're using what the typical word or code word has once been for Black folks, Muslim. Now they're using Muslims to send dog whistle language for and representing and be the mouthpieces of supremacy. And they did it with the children, nonetheless. So we want the opt-out option, like opting out. In your history, you don't have a history here in America, boy. Your history is in Iran, not America. You know, so you being Aryans with tans does not move a lot of us. But nonetheless, pay attention to that type of pivot. That is not to be missed. Because what they're doing is now trying to enter in another group into the conversation by way of, see, it's not enough to go with one particular religion who people say run the world. And I don't mean the Catholics. They have to get something else in there. So now you went from the Torah, the Talmud followers, and because I won't say they follow the Torah, they follow that Talmud. And then you have the Aryans. Then you got the Catholics, of course. So with that being said, what has their interests how have their interests over history always aligned? Well, for two of those groups, actually three of them, all three of them had a very hefty hand in the transatlantic slave trade. And for those 10 Aryans, they actually had even more of a time because they predate the transatlantic slave trade for and with the trans-African slave trade, to where they were the most vicious to the male slaves by always making sure they chopped their woods off. So, I mean, that's a whole nother thing in conversation to get into, but understand there has always been a concerted effort against, especially the people over here that built America. Those three groups had a very hefty hand in it. So I'm just giving you the historical tie for what you just heard right there. And if anybody's wondering, well, they're Muslims and they're people of color. No, they don't see themselves that way. They are Iranian. They know they think they're white. Let's keep it a buck. I mean, they pop out with that Muslim con, but again, that's anti-black. If you didn't know. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. So just peep the crafty coalition of chaos right there. You know, so, and again, they're working for their self-interest. I mean, because at the end of the day, let's just look around you. You have, when it comes down to the Aryans with tans, what do they have going for them? They probably own your gas stations. They probably own majority of the gas stations in your neighborhood. That's for certain. I mean, how many of y'all can say that you can at least, like by putting a 1 in the chat, how many of y'all at least know of one Iranian-owned gas station in your neighborhood? How many of y'all? Put a 1 in the chat. If y'all know that there's at least one Iranian-owned gas station in your neighborhood, put a 1 in the chat for me, family. I got 2 1s in the chat thus far. You understand what I'm saying? You better know it. But I definitely can say the same for me. Dark Skin Brother says severals. You got several over there. Huh? I absolutely understand it. Persians control real estate. Persians also have a history of enslaving melanated people. I'm just saying, if you go through the historical ties, because, sometimes they say, and often is proven to be true, in fact, leopards never change spots. So if they were together then it's safe to say you should understand why certain people are together today for a common interest. See, what Black folks have gotten their minds into in America, unfortunately, is identity with color. When truth be told, your identity should be lineage. And once you move over into the lineage-based identification, self-identifying, that's when you see things change as you are now. So with that being said, what do we have next here? We'll go here. There's a very interesting story. And again, I think it's time to just start keeping an eye out, and not necessarily that you gotta well, I don't know. I'll say this. Being vigilant is meaning you are wise enough to remain safe. Okay, let me get this in here. Bear with me 1 second. That's not what I want. Okay. Okay, let me show y'all something. Let me do this real quick. Bear with me real quick. Look at this picture in here. There it is. Okay. Lord. There's always one. So y'all see this guy. Well, this guy is, I guess, trying to position himself as being a advocate of some sort for reparations for Black folks. Yeah, you heard that correctly, family. That is what I said. It says, this is from the AP. It says reparations campaigns get boost from new philanthropic funding. The campaign to win reparations for Black Americans plans to bring bring broader support for smaller nonprofits advancing the cause, with a new philanthropic funding initiative announced Friday at the Alight Align of Rise National Conference in Atlanta. Okay. The Decolonizing Wealth Project, an organization dedicated to creating racial equity through education and radical reparative giving, is committing $20 million over 5 years to boost campaigns for reparations across the country, along with a research collaboration with Boston University to map reparation projects. Okay. When any of this starts making sense, family, let me know. Let me change this view real quick. Okay, the project's founder and CEO Edgar Villanueva announced the plans at an Atlanta gathering of advocates, including the writer. Oh, boy, let me show you this. Why did it just? Hold on. There it is. Lord. Okay. Including the writer Ta-Nehisi Coates, journalists like Nicole Hannah-Jones, and U.S. Representative Jamal Bowman. Wait, we talking about reparations, right? Right. Wait a minute. Didn't I just play him the other night? Didn't I just play something of him the other night? Where is that? Where is that at? Oh, yeah, this is the fella. I mean, I'm telling you, boy, treasonous. And it's so funny that I said about with his post how that was treasonous. And now you seeing him in a conversation talking about reparations, where I just seen a picture with him talking about how he's standing with immigrants. And shout out to my Latinos and all of my yeah. Okay, now this is who they talk
The
about.
hateful, divisive rhetoric is historical as per redlining, and the anti-immigrant sentiment is directly connected to the Great Replacement Theory. Now, I know none of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle admit to being racist. And I don't think they are. But when you look at the rhetoric and you hear the talking points and look at the legislation that's put forward, what are we to say?
The gentleman will suspend. I want to remind the gentleman that you cannot engage in characterizing the other members' positions or calling their position, engaging in personality characterizations.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's just very frustrating because it seems like the legislation itself engages in personalities when it refers to a group of people that is derogatory. So if the legislation is doing it, and we're using words on the other side of the aisle like invasion, as if it's an army coming to our country, is that not personalities?
And you want this guy in this conversation? Anyway, the Democratic congressman whose district represents parts of the Bronx and Westchester County in New York. The point of all of this is for us to elevate the issue and the opportunity for reparations and to resource the groups who have been doing this work, often for a little or no money. And it takes the money to win, said Villanueva in an interview. I just would like to say, for anybody who is representing Mr. Villanueva as a grassroots voice over here, voice of the new black media, I can honestly say I have heard nothing of this at all, and no one has tried to contact us nor come into any of these spaces and talk to the people. So it's kind of interesting on who are you saying is moving the needle of reparations, since you haven't talked to the grassroots about it. And it is the grassroots that has made this movement. It is the grassroots that got this justice claim. The one thing that we will not ever be fooled of is that people like Al Sharpton did the work. No. They came out and claimed that they did the work that the grassroots has done, like grifters. That is what a grift is. To come in and always represent yourself like you were doing something when all you did was eulogize somebody because they let you up in their pulpit to preach for their loved ones, family, that got grassroots people out there turning up in the street and getting cops arrested and convicted. Not no preaching. Nonetheless, the nonprofit, which is fiscally sponsored by Allied Media Projects, has not yet fully funded the commitment, but has brought in millions of dollars in unrestricted grants from the likes of the Ford Foundation and the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation in recent years. All right, I knew I was smelling Jams Jollof somewhere. Got that Jams Jollof cracking. I knew I was smelling Jams Jollof. Now remember, because this is where this list comes from. Shout out brother Jojo, who actually got me this list while somebody else was crying. You stole my information. I don't know what you're talking about. Take it up with him. Well, peace to him, though. Trifling. But remember Jam's funding partners. The MacArthur Foundation. Oh, that sounds familiar. Oh, that William K. What was that? What I say? One of them. I believe they are in there. Wait, is the MacArthur, the Catherine? That's MacArthur Foundation right there. But that other one, that Charlotte Trust, I've seen them before as well. And then, of course, you got the Kellogg Foundation down there. There's the Ford Foundation. Yeah. There's a lot of money going on around there, ain't it? Well, didn't I tell y'all Jam ain't got all that money? They did not give all that money to that woman. So you're going to start seeing the evidence of where the money went. And so now they're going to use this dude. I'm like, when I saw this, when I'm telling you with family, when I saw this article, I'm like, something don't smell right. Wait a minute, what's this about? Yeah, they trying to pull a fast one here. This ain't about this dude's philanthropy. This is about them trying to hide their ops. Pay attention. They are trying to hide their ops with this dude. So, yeah, see, I'm going to go down here to Atlanta and then all of these groups. So this ain't nothing, like I said, who is he talking about and who is he talking to? Now we know. This is some in the Cobra promotion. Oh, man, this is dirty. So you're hiding $20 million through these people. Well, he hasn't yet funded it because he was never going to. He's just the front man. In the meantime, they're just telling you that You got Negroes over here making money that are doing what? Because I mean, if they're already all of these grants, what are these grants going to? Who's getting these grants, and to what word or what benefit has it been to the movement of reparations? I mean, are you glad? Aren't you glad? People, are you glad? That's where that money went. Remember when they was really trying to take the spin, and then they're going to start talking about some climate justice and all that old crap? No. Nope. That was the hustle, and that was the con. So now they done rolled this dude out to say, okay, well, we thought that maybe having a black woman out here and using the old elders, that was going to play. No. So now, well, let's go see if the black and brown coalition thing can work, because they're always saying that the black and brown thing isn't reciprocal. So how do we get past that? Oh, I know. Let's go find a rich Mexican to have him give Negroes $20 million. You seeing people in the game? So no, this is political theater. And that's all this is. Nothing more, nothing less. Blueberry Muffin said, I smell Joe Law. You better know it. So let's see. It goes on. That in addition of hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations from individuals to their reparations campaign. Ooh, is this early damage control? Because we know who hasn't seen any money. These aren't people who supported the rally for reparations. You feel what I'm saying? That is not what you're getting here. So, very interesting. Reparation campaigns funds supporting Black and indigenous groups called Liberated Capital. Say what now? Black and indigenous groups. So when you couldn't get out of a pit, because I'm sure you don't mean Black indigenous. See, they being crafty with the words. Which the MacArthur Foundation supports. So now you wrap that, you round all of that up to basically say that somehow the push for reparations is tied to the guidance of the MacArthur Foundation. No, it definitely is not. Even before the police killing of George Floyd, 3 years ago, institutions and municipalities began examining their own roles in systems that oppress Black Americans, including slavery, redlining, and gentrification. What the hell are they talking about? Even before the police killing of George Floyd 3 years ago, institutions and municipalities began examining their own roles in systems that oppress Black Americans? What the heck, man? When? When did this happen? And where? And what did they institute that's different than what was already going on? Where is the evidence of that? What are they talking about? No, that did not happen. Intellectual babble. No, this is lying. This right here is lying. This whole paragraph right here is just absolute lying. Oh boy, but it gets better. Oh, including slavery, redlining, and gentrification. They also looked at policies impacting other communities of color. Last year, Harvard University pledged $100 million to atone for its extensive ties with slavery. In 2021, the Minnesota-based Bush Foundation committed $100 million, which they raised through issuing emergency bonds during the pandemic to address economic inequality in Black Native American communities. Well, that's interesting. Black Native. Yeah, first off, I don't think I've ever heard that one. Black Native American communities. Black and oh no, I'm sorry, I missed the and part. Black and Native American communities. Are y'all noticing that we keep getting lumped all of a sudden? Earlier in the broadcast or earlier in this article, they say indigenous, Black and indigenous. Now it's Black and Native American. They went straight Native American with it. Naya Beauty in the house. Welcome, my sister. Shout out to you, sister. Areta Sase Run in the house. Dr. Kenny T. Welcome, sister. So this is telling me a lot. Let's see. Also oh man, really? You're gonna go there? Oh boy, this is crazy. Okay, so also in 2021, the city of Evanston, Illinois, launched a program to pay $10 million to facilitate home repairs or down payments for Black residents, the first of its kind in the U.S. Now, of course, we all understand this ain't reparations, and this was a lift all plan. So now again, you're saying, well, yeah, reparations for Black people. That is how this started. Now all of a sudden, once the money start coming into the conversation, all of a sudden the scope just getting broader and broader and broader as more money gets talked about. Well, this was $20 million. Well, it's Black and indigenous. Well, it's $100 million. It's Black and Native American. Here's another $100 million. It's Black and other communities of color. I mean, the strokes of the brush just keep getting broader and broader, then, don't they? Might as well just get you a roller. Say, well, I mean, truth be told, I mean, look at women, look at the cripple. I mean, everybody needs a little bit of your reparation. Everybody suffers. So that's where this is going. I'm surprised he hasn't talked about the handicap yet. It might be coming. Civil rights lawyer and professor at Harvard Kennedy School, Cornell Williams Brooks, has a quilt hanging in his office that was made from the clothing of his great-great-grandfather, which he points as just to one measure of the present connection to the impact of slavery. His scholarship looks at the many ways the U.S. government compensates groups who have been harmed, though not yet Black Americans. Now, you could have gone on to say not yet Black Americans, although other groups. See, again, notice the crafty way that they just stop. No, if you want to throw and other groups, this is time for the and other groups conversation. Because and or while and still yet other groups have gotten reparations for being harmed while being in this country and having much less of a history of any harm coming to them in this country than any descendant of those slaves. But, you just, well, not yet Black Americans. Framing the consequences of not having this reparations discourse and debate is that our history is being erased, and as importantly, if not more importantly, literally people being robbed of what they earned. Brooks said, referencing, for example, Black World War II veterans who were unable to use the housing and education benefits of the GI Bill. Yeah, but actually before that part, you probably should have brought up Black Wall Street that still has survivors that have not gotten justice other than a damn Juneteenth holiday. While overall most Americans do not support reparations, wait a minute, Now we're all of a sudden getting out of clarifying who people are. While overall, most of who Americans, because you are very specific in race and all of this. So let's not generalize it. Who? But of course, that's Associated Press. The good old slanted media, not to be confused with the real. While overall, most Americans do not support reparations, younger people do. With both Brooks and Villanueva see as a sign of the strength of the movement. Oh, well, it ain't just them that sees that and see the strength of the movement. That's why they're there presented as they care. Because again, my question now would be, why do you care now? Why does the MacArthur Foundation care now? You guys have made money hand over fist. Why is our reparations of interest to you? As the demands for reparations are increasing, we are also seeing an attack on history, Villanueva said, referencing efforts to ban books and change the school curriculums to diminish references to reparations, among other topics. There wouldn't be a reference to or references to reparations. Boy, are you catching the crafty slant that they keep doing? Okay, so clearly, see, they're going to be taught about America's history, which America's history is not reparations, because paying reparations to foundational Black Americans has not happened. So there is no history of it. The history account is why you need to be paying reparations now. That's the point. And see, notice how they keep trying to get away from the fact of history. There's an evil done there. And so only the devil tries to talk around that as weasel wordy as that was. Good grief, dude. The Decolonizing Wealth Project will also fund research into what stories and arguments influences people that are to support reparations. Ooh. See, under the guise of helping, this is saying we're trying to study something for what? What is your interest in studying reparations? Oh, you want to study the people who are making the movement of reparations happen, but you're giving money to all of these people who supposedly represent reparations. Why would you need money to study the people you're in contact with? That doesn't make sense now, does it? No one has to study somebody they know. You have to study the people and figure out what motivates and moves the people that you don't know. So again, you're spending money to now what it appears observe and figure out and dissect the psyche of a group that you don't have an end to. So what's the best way to get around that? Pay Negroes who look like you to sit next to you and start taking notes. Hope y'all seeing what's going on. Let's see. They will likely point to previous payments made to groups of people like Japanese Americans incarcerated during the Second World War, or official apologies made by the United States government for Native American boarding schools. Boarding schools. How about the atrocity of slaughtering them? The price tag associated with the proposed cash compensation has drawn skepticism For example, in California, where a reparations task force estimated that the state is responsible for more than $500 billion in damages due to the decades of over-policing, mass incarceration, and redlining. Yeah, you also forget a little touch of that slavery. The state currently faces projected $3.1 or $31.5 billion deficit. F you pay me. The California Commission voted last year that any compensation be limited to the descendants of Black people living in the United States before the end of the 19th century, and more recently limited eligibility to the people living in California for at least 6 months, while certain discriminatory practices and policies were in effect. Martin Gillians, a public policy professor at UCLA, said parameters that direct potential benefits to groups the wider population sees as deserving may help to win support for such initiatives. Wait a minute. Said the parameters that direct potential benefits to groups the wider population sees as deserving. Who was that? He wrote a book about how misconceptions that welfare disproportionately benefited Black people led to diminished support for those programs. You got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. No, the hell it didn't. It's just no hating Negroes is what helped that. What are you talking about? Reparations opponents argue that current taxpayers should not be responsible for damages for historical wrongs, although they benefit from historical wrongs to this day. See, that part is a huge, and for all of you good Christians out there, what did Jesus have to say about that? Should we be paid for the sins of our fathers? Jesus? You know what he told them? He said, you know good and well that what you living off of, it was gotten by ill-gotten means, and you enjoy living off of that today. So you are no different than your fathers. You are exactly the same and will suffer for it. So that's what Jesus told you to do. I'm like, oh, I'm a good Christian. Well, that's Christ. And he said, guess what? Another thing, don't think I came to bring no unity. So for all of you Bible thumping, bugged out, church going, never opening your Bible idiots, you might want to just flip through the red words. You had to do it if you really read it, but I mean, just look at the red words. Jeez. Like, well, we shouldn't be punished for the sins of our father. You ain't. You being punished for the sins of you. You know what you're living with today is it was gotten by ill-gotten means, and there's blood on it. You still want to enjoy it. Well, you guilty as hell too. The hell you think? Ain't that how the law works? See, funny how the law actually works that way, but then they tell you, man, it's so different. It was so long ago. There ain't no statute of limitations on murder, and every person in the system of chattel slavery that died before freedom is a victim of murder. Whether they died in a sleep or whatnot, they didn't die free. They died at the hands of a brutal slave system, a slave owner as property. That is absolutely murder. So those victims should see justice on so many different levels. And the one thing that you can ensure that their offspring sees is a repair due. Because we're talking for these people who get so deep in science, Well, then let's talk DNA. If you have trauma through your DNA, trauma goes both ways too. See, it ain't victim mentality. No, because the person who is also victimizing is also experiencing trauma on a certain level. And the trauma that is a different kind of experience. But what it is built a codependency of a false expectation of an uneven playing field. So when you have the reality of the playing field being very clearly fair when you can't compete, then all is lost. Let's burn down the whole building. And so here they're taking a run at it. They're taking a solid run at it. But nonetheless, it's kind of a foreign concept to Americans, this idea of collective reparations for collective harms. Yeah, because that doesn't make any sense. Reparations is for this group's harms. What on earth does this have? See, you start getting into these kind of conversations because people want to start spreading things. Well, yeah, it's not just black people. I mean, racism, redlining. No. All of those things are byproducts. Don't tell me about the children. Tell me about the father. Simple as that. Don't tell me about the children. Tell me about the father. Brooks, the professor and civil rights lawyer, argues the local campaigns run by nonprofits won't be able to resolve the call for reparations, though they lay the groundwork for more comprehensive action. They are absolutely necessary in trying to ensure that the federal government and local governments, institutions, companies, and communities do what they can for the harms that they in fact create. Do what they can? No, you give what you're owed. There's no, you get in, professor and civil, so listen to how they set it up. They use the weasel words to get you in there. Well, the professor and the civil rights lawyer argues local campaigns. Stop it. He's talking about all of these incomes. Well, they're not going to be able to do it because they just dumb Negroes. And what they need is some uppity gatekeeper Negroes like myself to come on in here, and then I handle the business, and I give all the contracts over to the good old Bass over here. And so Mass over here at the Ford Foundation and the MacArthur Foundation say, you done good, boy. And then I get my biscuits and I'll go on my merry way. Absolutely shameful. Some people see reparations as a handout. No, they don't. They just lying. White supremacy is the biggest handout ever known to man. Stop it. That's not how our federal spending works. And that's not how this works. He told the Associated Press, of course, they wouldn't talk to him, it's not taking from Peter to pay Paul. Will Corderi is a philanthropy consultant and directs the Reparative Action Fund at Satterberg Foundation. Boy, these names. The Reparative Action Fund at Satterberg Foundation. Dare I ask who? What nationality or religion, organization, or people would be behind that organization, which supports the Decolonizing Wealth Project. There it is. Boy, you just scratched the surface. What did I say? There's the 1, 2, 3. There's either you're looking for the Catholics, looking for the Muslims, and you're looking for that other religion. Here we go. All three back in cahoots, baby. Boy, they do not miss a beat. All these other groups. I'm just waiting for Muslims to drop. I'm just waiting for Muslims to drop. Of course, you would have to start talking about how the Arabs had so heavy of a slave trade going on, an anti-black slave trade going on, by the way. So, I mean, that's a lot to talk about, or just a lot to ignore. Either way, which one way, how you want to look at it. Let's see. In his experience, individuals and smaller family foundations have been much quicker to grapple with and support reparations than larger foundations, which are more bound by their missions and internal procedures. He hopes that funding more nonprofits to work on reparations campaigns will mean in 5 years that more people understand that reparations is not just about handing over money, but about healing past harms. How much more do we need in order to really have some reckoning? Now, here's the thing. Do these people ever want to come? These are the people who block folks like us. You block people in the grassroots. These are the people who block us. And then they're coming out here like, man, we so for the people and we really want reparations. These type of folks was the ones telling us, you ain't never gonna get it. They ain't never gonna give us no reparations. Man, we might as well just start fighting, man. I mean, shoot, man. I don't even know, man. We might as well just party and kick it. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, shoot, you over there going all hard on the white man and stuff. I mean, I be kind of like liking on them white women. And that's where it goes. That's really what all that's about. But I mean, we can marry him now? Oh, okay. I mean, shoot, look at Dr. Cornel West. Damn. Right on, brother. Right on. Yeah. And see, in the deep melanin core of melanation is my sensation for Buttermilk Becky. Oh, Lord. And she dyes her hair brown. I think she's exotic. To each his own, but whatever, brother. And that's pretty much the end of that story. Lord. Oh, Revelations 15 and 19. We got next. You better know it. He who has an ear, let him hear. And so, with that being said, we are also talking about, see, again, understand when you start seeing stuff like this, oh yeah, we're really interested in reparations now. Yeah. Well, then here's something, because they understand for any thinking situation, you would know that, hey, the grassroots is on a different wavelength right now. We might want to consider how they're moving. Take things into great consideration before being disrespectful and disingenuous, like, Roland Martin would do. Because, let me break this down, because, you guys are so stupid. Now, see, what y'all don't seem to understand, when you get this foreign policy in here, see, you get the people in there. It's like, stop it. And so now he gonna watch. If you don't think that he finna start coming out talking about, well, see, now y'all say y'all want some black first. Y'all black first, right? Now, see, y'all black first, but y'all ain't gonna support Cornel West. Now, how the hell y'all gonna be black first, but y'all ain't gonna support? Now, see, now look what y'all doing now. Now, see, you got people like Tariq Nasheed and like Jason Black and all of them other people, the new black media. Oh, come on now. You already know it's coming. Y'all are ruining my chances of getting another network job. I mean, did I say that on air? Beep, beep, beep. I mean, come on, man. What's going on, my brother? Black Alpha Network in the house. What is going on, my brother? Night Rider in the house. Welcome, welcome. Ooh-wee, I'm telling you, family. Yeah, these people are going to start coming out. Because again, for Roland Martin out of I guess most people understands, like, he was going up there to go see, man, I'm telling you, bro, he was going up to MSNBC on Tiffany Cross's show thinking they was finna go work something out with them. You understand what I'm saying? So when he watches the money they invested in her, because remember, Black women are the culture. Remember that? Y'all remember that? Well, what we need to remember is we had to learn how we could take the capes off. Yeah, they took that cape off and they took her ass right off of TV. It's like, Tiffany Cross, your best chance is going over there with Mark Lamont Hill, sucking it up and getting on that griot. If you think you're gonna get over there on News Nation, think again. News Nation is the used tire spots for old white anchors. They ain't got no room for you. So yeah, trust that. You'll be doing weather over there. And now for Chicago weather, Tiffany Cross. I had a whole show. Well, you know what you got to do. Oh, that is so funny. You need to get behind and get in line with Black women. I'm saying, so you need to get your ratings together and you can get your stuff out now. Matter of fact, she got fired on her day off. Like, yeah, matter of fact, your pass to the building and all your access has been revoked. There will be a box of your things. And, oh, yeah, give up the car and move out by the end of the week. They did her dirty. Yeah, that's basically like running somebody out of town in a week. Like, I don't know what you're going to do, but turn in the car and, yeah, you got to move out by Friday. Did her so dirty. But this is what you get when you betray your people. Don't get out here and start acting like these people got your back. No, they don't. No, they don't. They are politicians. I mean, again, remember how your back has been had and you seeing how your back is getting got. Your back is getting totally got right now. You got this moron out here in New York still trying to save face. The Democrats ain't giving me no help. Yeah, what family? I said this a while ago. Joe Biden is such a crafty, staunch racist that when he's hiring Black people, that means in these like prominent positions, that means disaster is coming. You got these old, man, one of the biggest days in my life is seeing Ketanji Brown Jackson. Boy, I tell you, I never would have thought it. And what I done seen in my lifetime, I could die a happy soul, I tell you. I done seen my first Black president. Oh, Lord, my Lord and Savior, Barack Obama. I done seen the first Black vice president in the impersonating imposter Dolan's all Kamala Harris. Oh, Lord. And now for the trifecta. Oh, it's like secretary for Black people. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Triple crown. We got Ketanji Brown Jackson as the the Supreme Court justice, I tell you. We winning. My granddaddy would have been proud. And we can vote. Oh. And they still doing this? Oh, man. We got another win for voting rights. If y'all don't shut up, the Congressional Black Caucus, like the regurgitated over talking about voting rights. We're born citizens. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, now we got it. You want all of those people out there in like New York and all those people getting busted. You want them to have voting rights. Now it makes sense, doesn't it, family? See, they were putting things in place beforehand. So don't let these old civil rights 1 foot in the grave already quit 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50 years ago. Don't let these individuals get in your way. Matter of fact, I want you to keep something in mind. Because, we're going to touch on these dudes. I just want to hit a few things just to let y'all understand. You need to understand how to vote your interest. And voting your interest, make sure you get all the information you can about who is trying to present themselves to you. Because when you don't do your political due diligence, and then you just come out here and get all emotionalized and about, hey, one is better than the other and one is worse than the other. We got to pick one or the other. What I want you to understand in 2024, we are having it no more. And I need for all of you Biden sexuals to get this new dance going. Biden sexuals, I'm a demonstrate for you right here with some of your great and best friends that you will never, ever stop spending money with, to demonstrate to you a brand new dance that every Biden sexual should learn. And I tell you, take this dance with you all the way to the election in November 2024. Biden sexuals, that's y'all new dance. That is y'all new dance. Y'all need to partner up and get to work. Start working the routines out right now. Let's see all kind of TikToks, Biden sexuals. And what you need to do, hold up your I voted sticker. Did you? And then do your dance. Whew. Rachel Jeter, how they still standing? I'm telling you, that's the dance for the Biden sexuals, man. From here to 2024 in November, man, y'all start working out your routines. Get them TikToks popping, Biden sexuals. I'm telling you, this dance is going to be the new craze. See, if you don't have a partner, do not fret. You too can do this dance all by your lonesome. So never worry about having a partner. You can just get in the mirror and get to practicing on your routine, Biden sexuals, And, good luck to you in 2024. Whew. But with that being said, family, oh, the Biden ball bounce. Rose City. Oh, man. Oh, that's it, brother. The Biden ball bounce. Ooh-wee. Oh. Ooh-wee. Oh, my Lord. Ooh-wee. They gonna start calling me king of the clips, boy. Ooh-wee. I done had that one for a minute, but I was like, it ain't fitting yet. So let me hold on. I'm telling you. I know what it is. Let me pull this out now. I got one for you. It's a brand new dance. And it ain't the locomotion. It's the Biden ball bounce. Taylor Man, very fitting now, isn't it? Ooh, isn't it, brother? Oh, Lord. So let me get through this and we get up out of here, family. So I wasn't planning to be on here too long. Oh, man. Oh, that is great. Whoo-wee. Oh, man. So if y'all are watching the replay right now and it had accidentally skipped ahead or something, you better rewind it a little bit and understand what you missed. Oh, Lord. Waited a good time for that one. Yeah, man. Like, I know what this is for. Oh, man. Sometimes you just got it and like, hey, I don't know what to do with it yet, but oh, man. Oh, absolutely classic. Whew. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Biden ball bounce. Now, like I said, and the title of the broadcast is Commanders and Chiefs of Chaos. So just understanding what we are dealing with. And that's why I wanted to just even touch on that reparations thing, because it's tied to all of these other individuals that you are seeing popping out the woodwork now. Just where, black and the people in chattel slavery, and then other communities of color. No, that ain't the conversation we having. And then trying to say the nonprofits. And one thing I'm glad that they did not use overuse is the phrase grassroots, because that's not grassroots. They're nonprofit organizations. They're smaller nonprofit organizations, but they are not grassroots. New Black Media, that's grassroots. There is no corporation out there saying, hey, and the MacArthur Foundation really supports it. Nah. And that's just it. They can't come over here with that. So they know. And again, family, if y'all thinking I'm just harping on, the white ones, we can't really expect much from them. Yeah, well, here's another one of your Congressional Black Caucus members. I found the video I was looking for a little while back because I've been telling people about these Congressional Black Caucus members with other agendas. So just watch how this woman talks about the Caribbean, and then watch how you can see her in other settings ignoring foundational Black Americans issues. But check it out.
Hi, everybody. I just left the House floor. We just did our first series of votes for today. I'm now headed to my office where we're going to be meeting with the Caribbean Caucus, two very vital issues that we have to address, both with concerns about democracy in the Western Hemisphere. We've been approached by many of our constituents who are Haitian descended, as well as Guyanese descended, and some serious issues with respect to democracy and how to get beyond conflict and get some resolution. So we're going to be meeting with a lot of our colleagues, including the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Elliot Engel, to put some strategic thinking together and look at how we can impact and help, one, to address the civil unrest in Haiti, and to really examine the United States government's role in what is taking place in Guyana and in Haiti.
But you can't do nothing about what's going on here in America. These people are shameful. Absolutely shameful. So let's get through this list. Let's get through this list real quick so we can, and by all intents and purposes, let me just preface this, that I don't support the Republicans. I don't support the Democrats. For all intents and purposes, all of these people up here on your screen to me are no more different than this fella here.
All right, I'd like to solve the puzzle. Niggers!
But understand, at the same time, and although one might still have black skin, not really completely sold on his agenda either. So when I'm seeing these two people, let's just keep this in mind, that number one, on the man on your right is no different than...
All right, I'd like to solve the puzzle. Niggers!
And time will tell about the brother on your left if he has really been solid down and stomped down forever, or has he been a hidden tiger and a crouching... Sambo! Only time will tell. Only time will tell. So let's get through this list. So for the Republican Party, we have, of course, Donald Trump, who was just recently indicted again on some charges that they still ain't going to lock his ass up for. So, there's that. And then, of course, there is Ron DeSantis. Yeah, that fella. Good old Ronnie. Can't really trust him other than to most definitely be a grade A bigot. And then, of course, you have the notorious lost I just want to be in the room with you, Zaddy, top shelf coon in Tim Scott. Not to be confused with another coon from Kentucky by the name of Daniel Cameron, but nonetheless relative. And, so here's Tim Scott. He's running now. Of course, you see, I don't know what Ted Cruz talking about, but Nikki Haley, which is now, a former governor of South Carolina. And if I remember right, isn't the Nikki Haley woman also a Indian like Kamala Harris? So why don't they call if Nikki Haley won, would she be the first African American there? considering like if Kamala Harris is, and wouldn't that basically apply to her too? Since Kamala Harris being Asian seems to just morph into her being black, but I don't know. I mean, where are we drawing the lines? And not to mention Vivek Ramaswamy. What would happen? Because he's another. So what would happen with Vivek? Anti-black Vivek. Would y'all be saying, well, although he said some anti-black things, he's the first black Republican nominee for the president of the United States, Vivek Ramaswamy. So, you get a whatever this man's name is. He's 37 too. The beat with the crap. He's 37. Vivek Ramaswamy is 37 years old, family. Who would have thought? Damn. Well, he sure don't age like us. Anyway, next. Mike Pence. Well, you're already familiar with him. He ran, of course, as he was Trump's running mate and Trump's vice president. Neither here nor there. Chris Christie, former New Jersey governor, a.k.a. Fred Flintstone, a.k.a. Peter Griffin, President Peter. Could y'all imagine? Size 62 pants coming to the podium. Really? Now okay, I remember, I'm losing somebody. Like, stop it. They had that dude looking like Bobby. He looked like he looked like Bobby Bacala from The Sopranos without the fat suit. That's all him. Anyway, I said, stop going there on Chris. Asa Hutchinson, the former Arkansas governor, launched his bid for the White House in April with a call for Trump to step aside to deal with his indictment. Hutchinson, a very spry and fresh from out the crypt 72, has touted his experience leading the deeply conservative state as proof he can deliver on policies Republican voters care about, citing tax cuts and job creation initiatives as particular sources of pride. Still, his name recognition remains limited outside Arkansas, because everybody outside of Arkansas can see Asa Hutchinson for exactly what he is. Doug Burgum, who is serving his second term in North Dakota's governor, launched his campaign on Wednesday. North Dakota's governor? North Dakota? Yeah, there's a winner, chief. Anyway, Burgum, 66, built a successful software business for selling it to Microsoft in 2001. A proponent of low taxes and fewer regulations, he will likely seek to portray himself as a traditional conservative who will focus on the economy and national security. Now we get to the Democratic Party. By the way, this particular list that obviously came out just a couple days ago or a day ago, it left out a candidate that just recently announced, that made major news, that they announced to run, but as a third party, and somehow they're not on this list. Take a guess on who that is. Now, Democratic Party, of course, Joe Biden, the current anti-black in chief. And it is his imposter Dolezal vice president within Kamala Harris. who, you know, had that throw together marriage made so they could prep her ready to step into this job to get them strings pulled. Anyway, first or second man Doug. That sounds so weird. Mary Ann Williamson, the best-selling author of self-help guru, launched her second long-shot bid for the White House. She ran as a Democrat in 2020 presidential primary, but dropped out of the race before any votes had been cast. She launched her latest campaign on March 23rd. Interesting. The day before my wedding anniversary. Robert Kennedy Jr., an anti-vaccine activist. Kennedy, 69, is making a long-shot bid to challenge Biden for the Democratic nomination. He is the son of U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1968 during his own presidential bid. Kennedy was banned from YouTube and Instagram for spreading misinformation about vaccines and COVID-19 pandemic. His Instagram account was reinstated after he said he was running. Reporting by Ross Colvin, additional reporting by whoever. So that's it. And then, of course, we understand. Close that. We understand that we have this fella, and they left him out. They did leave him out. I'm sure he probably is like, hey, well, you know, I mean, we all here, and I understand. I mean, that's just how the thing works. And okay, don't play it safe, because again, how hard is he willing to go? See, what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to intellectualize everybody to death. So see now, Joe Biden, of course, Joe Biden. Well, here's the thing. He's running as an independent. So as running as an independent, his campaign is not based on the Democratic nomination regardless. So there is no reason that he should be running to quit. But let's just keep an eye on that, family. I'm just saying, if he was running as a Democrat, that'd be different. But running as an independent, you need to be right there when everybody's casting their votes in November. Your name needs to be right up there with everybody else's in their parties. Although that's when most people that, we just stuck to the people. No, you stuck to the parties that you stuck to. And until you decide to stop doing the same thing, stop telling everybody they stupid when all you are doing is demonstrating the classic textbook definition of insanity. Man, we're going to do the same thing, just get different. We're going to get a different result this time, I'm telling you. 50 kids. I mean, come on now. We definitely going to get some. We're making progress. Can't you see? No, we cannot. But nonetheless, let's also be fair, because they left this brother out. And, not that I'm really giving too much of a damn of, again, he's going to have to do some convincing. And this all lives matter talk ain't going to cut it. But nonetheless, here is the presidential bid ad for none other than Cornel West.
In these bleak times, I have decided to run for truth and justice, which takes the form of running for president of the United States as a candidate for the People's Party. I enter into quest for truth. I enter into quest for justice. And the presidency is just one vehicle to pursue that truth and justice, what I've been trying to do all of my life. I come from a tradition where I care about you. I care about the quality of your life. I care about whether you have access to a job with a living wage, decent housing, women having control over their bodies, health care for all, the destruction of the planet. the destruction of American democracy. Democracy creates disruption. It creates an eruption. It creates an interruption. Wide from below, the energies of everyday people is manifest. And I know there are precious people in your life who you care for. That's why it's important for you to be involved, important for you to participate. We're not talking about hating anybody. We're talking about loving. We're talking about affirming. We're talking about empowering those who have been pushed to the margins. Because neither political party wants to tell the truth about Wall Street, about Ukraine, about the Pentagon, about big tech.
Neo-fascists like Brother Trump or milquetoast neoliberals like Brother Biden. Wow, I'm so happy to make a world-shaking decision. You know what I mean?
Well, I know gangsters when I see them. And gangster's not a subjective expression. It's an objective condition. Do we have what it takes? We shall see. But some of us are going to go down fighting, go down swinging with style and a smile, accenting the best in you and trying to tease out the best in me. Let's do it together.
With style and a smile. You got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. See, when you go down swinging, we gonna do it. First off, you ain't going down. Ain't that claiming defeat? When Dolomite and Truck Turner gonna jump out. Hey, you hear that damn music? Listen up, suckers. All you mothers. One big black brother is coming to town, and he is not taking any jive. Him and only his woman can understand him. Oh, man, that old black exploitation movie preview music. Coming to a theater near you. Jim Brown in Three the Hard Way. Three bad brothers come to town. They come together, fighting all over the United States to come against the man who is trying to poison the water supply. And they have to act urgently. And see, then the brother, Mr. Hammer, yes, that's right, the Hammer, he gets his woman kidnapped, and then they got to go save Wendy. Yes, you be there too, brothers and sisters. Make sure you are down at the at the Jenkins Metroplex Theater. That's right. Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, the double feature. Harlem on the Orient Express. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Harlem on the Orient Express. You understand? And that's what's so funny about it. Like, he go with the jive sucker. He going with that type of music. Yeah, right on, brother. Right on. See, sister. See, and what's so funny about that is when you're all of them old militants, like, why all of them old militants don't have black wives? What's that about? Shantae Holt. What's going on? Mr. West has to do better than that. Absolutely, Shantae. Yes, indeed. He definitely has to do better than this. Because this is, that's not where it's at. But nonetheless, these are all the people who so far are jumping off the ledge to challenge the two favorites, or the two favored individuals, but nonetheless, we over here in the Black grassroots, we are representing our own interests. So for those Biden sexuals, for you who have been silent with all of this debacle that was calling you guys are stupid, you stupid, you don't even understand how politics works. Well, okay, all of you Biden sexuals, first I need you to do is this.
Own your stuff, little girl. Own it.
And for all of you people who are losing jobs because you cannot actually compete with the truth that comes out of the grassroots and the new black media, always remember.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
And don't be.
Shuffling and scratching and bootlicking and buck dance.
Because what we are not doing is putting on capes for the Democrats. We're not putting the capes on for the Republicans. We are out here representing our interests. And if somebody comes around us talking about, well, we and we and us, and where, sometimes you got to ask,
where's your family from?
And doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that just simply make sense? Because people don't understand when you let too many people around, they start coming in like the one dude. The one dude who he also already said he was Haitian. The dude from, I wish Kid Gravity was in the chat. He knows this man's name. But he be always talking on Twitter, making different random posts. And now he talking about, we need reparations. It's like, when y'all hear people talking like that, we need reparations. Ain't you Haitian? Just start asking.
We?
Because these are questions that need to be asked. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we all know what our motto is right here. Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Just kidding. No, I can't make it through that with a straight face. I just can't. Again, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Yeah, because, and also the other thing is we don't owe no other groups nothing. You understand me? Because these folks over here, they just got some, 4 Hondurans here with a gang of fentanyl. Understand what's happening here. It's people making money hand over fist. And something that I can't help but notice, in the midst of everything that's going on, we have a opioid crisis that's out of this world. How then do you need immigrants to flood in? What's happening with that? You're flooding in invaders who are getting caught with fentanyl. So truth be told, when Joe, like we already said, when Joe Biden got announced as the winner of the presidential campaign against Donald Trump, there was a whole bunch of people on the phone licking their chops, rubbing their hands like Birdman, and picking up that phone. And the rest is history. So we're going to have to really, 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 really keep it tight and right. And so, family, again, for you Biden sexuals who are going to come into Roland Martins and all of you pundits out there and anti-reparation people, you people who are going to try to say, well, you guys just need to vote blue. I mean, at least vote down solid blue. I mean, come on now. Even if you don't vote for the president, now I just don't know how you gonna get anything you want if you gonna just stop voting. We didn't say we're gonna stop voting. We said we were gonna vote for our interests, which now when you say go vote, notice how they're not saying vote or die and all of it. Notice how they're not saying that, because the message is very clear out of the grassroots. We are voting our interests. So we're not telling you we won't vote if a no vote because a no vote is a vote. See, we're being active in the process by saying this is what they don't tell you. A no vote is a vote. Let them learn that way. But if they don't, then I'll tell you this. I'm going to need y'all to do a campaign dance all the way to 2024. And this is what our brother Hero City 93 has coined as the Biden ball bounce. Here is y'all new dance. I need y'all to start working on these TikToks and getting these things cracking, family, because you believe in Joe Biden and you are Team Blue no matter who. And so this dance is for you. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Wee, Lord. So again, family, we are at a time and place to where we're going to have to start paying attention to all of the infiltrators that are getting money, clout driven and otherwise. What we're going to have to do is always stay vigilant and stay aware and understanding that they use crafty tactics to infiltrate movements and infiltrate notions. So when you see things that are off, hey, we're going to do something about that, family. Brother Afro Elite in the house. What is going on, my brother? Shout out to this brother Afro Elite and sister ZZ, and I'm not sure who else you had on your broadcast tonight, brother. But shout out to that brother for holding brother Ozone down and helping bring attention to that brother's case, because that's also needed. Too many people that get caught up in circumstances like that. Self-defense. I mean, hey, I've been there myself, so I fully understand. So shout out to our brother and sister that has been staying on top of that, and shout out to brother Othel Wallace, and may he get the justice and vindication that he well deserves. That everybody else that defends themselves or shoots someone through a door or creeps up behind someone and chokes them out on a subway, or chases down a middle school child over a fictitious theft to what apparently, allegedly, possibly appears that maybe even planted a gun on the kid or in the scene. Nonetheless, we also have the city bike Carolyn Bryants of the world. And these people are here to bring us harm. But they do not get the fervent treatment because, again, that's the dominant society. And we have way too many of ours that are willing to support their interests against the well-being and future of their own. So with that being said, to those individuals who have taken money like Jam and others and all of these NCOBRA groups that are coming out here, I personally would steer clear of anything with NCOBRA being involved. I would not promote it. I can strongly say that. Because people say, well, we need people everywhere. You don't need to invite the termites to your house. You don't invite, they say you don't bring ants to a picnic. Well, you can't keep bringing your own destruction with you. You're gonna have to learn to, like my brother Black Alpha says, you're gonna learn to have to start setting some of these people out like it's trash day. And clear enough, when you have a poster wall of legitimate philanthropy, billionaire, quadrillionaire corporations, all of a sudden interested in reparations and trying to put reparations in a certain basket that goes back to their own elitism. I ain't feeling that. And anybody that's part of that and saying that's okay, because man, we just gonna get it how I live, you are the biggest part of the problem. And so with that being said, from us here at the Beatzilla PDX official show, from all of the members of this fine chat, I say safely that I speak for the grassroots and the voices of new Black media when I and we dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Family, you could follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at BeatZillaPDX. You can email me at OurRealTruth@gmail.com. And if you would like to support this broadcast and support the content, you like it and dig it, besides, please like and sharing this message. You can also support this channel by way of donation at Cash App. That is $ BeatZillaPDX. That's Cash App, $ BeatZillaPDX. Also, we have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so we are about to get on out of here. Hopefully, y'all have a safe and healthy and prosperous weekend. And most definitely stay away from, as much as you can, infiltrators, low vibrational energy, and supremacists. So, you know what I'm saying? So, man, thank y'all again for hanging out and supporting this broadcast. See, we had quite a few people up in here tonight, so that is dope. So shout out to all of y'all. Because, there are some people out here that they really, truly do not want this liberation that we are pushing for. They are more or less because they live like this.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
And being talked to like that is cool for them. However, we say it's reparations or nothing. So always remember what this country done did to us. And if you acting like you cannot take care of foundational Black Americans the way you were supposed to, well, In the words of our good Jeremiah Wright.
First was the controversial Reverend Jeremiah Wright.
I say America, America's mother, America's daddy, America can eat a dick, America can lick the balls.
Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a great weekend.
When you know who Satan is,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. See, that's what you throw.
Right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.